Okay, everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to this channel. Of course, this is Human Face Humanity First, uplifting all souls across the board. So, today is Friday, the 14th of November 2025. Of course, today is a sunny day, unlike yesterday. Yesterday, there was a heavy downpour of rain in Accra. Today is the opposite. So, you're all welcome. Today is a sunny day. You can see the sun. See the sun. You're all welcome, people.
Parts of Ukraine were also hit. In the Odessa region, a drone strike on a market left 2 people dead. President Zelensky accused Moscow of calculated attacks, causing maximum harm to people and civilian infrastructure. Lisa Yasko is a Ukrainian MP in Kyiv.
I'm speaking to you after 0 hours of sleep tonight. It was impossible. The attack was very massive, with drones, with ballistics, with lots of air defense working on.
The row between Japan and China over Taiwan is deepening, with Tokyo summoning the Chinese ambassador to protest about remarks made by one of his colleagues. The Chinese consul general in Osaka had posted on social media the dirty neck that sticks itself. That was seen as a reference to the Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi, who said that an armed attack in Taiwan could prompt a military response from Japan. Our China correspondent Stephen McDonnell is in Beijing.
There's been some really nasty language used, especially by some of the proxies for the Communist Party, like the former editor of the Global Times. Now, admittedly, this is a bit of a shock-jock media outlet, but this editor has described Japan's Prime Minister as an evil witch. What it has resulted in is, again, we're seeing relations between Japan and China collapsing that really had been improving after a long period in the doldrums or in the freezer even at some point. But now here they are back at each other's throats, and especially when it comes to the Chinese side.
The UN's human rights chief, Volker Turk, says atrocities committed in the Sudanese city of Al-Fid massacre in the city when it fell to the paramilitary rapid support forces 2 weeks ago. About 2,000 people are
conflict. But our wake-up calls were not heeded. Bloodstains on the ground in Al-Fashir. The stain on the record of the international community is less visible, but no less damaging.
The alliance, led by India's governing in opposition-held states in next year's polls, trends suggest the alliance will beat its previous record for Bihar. Officials at the Nasser Medical Hospital in southern Israel has returned the bodies of 15 Palestinians. On Thursday, Hamas returned the remains of a dead Israeli who was killed during the October the 7th attacks on Israel 2 years ago. Under the US-brokered ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas, Israel is required to return the bodies of 15 Palestinians for every dead hostage handed back. By border authorities, the charity Gift of the Givers says they were held for nearly 12 hours in what it called a disgraceful ordeal. From Johannesburg, here's our Africa correspondent, Mayeni Jones.
It's not clear who chartered the plane carrying Palestinians from Kenya to South Africa, but 130 of them have now been granted entry. The South African Border Management Authority said that the passengers were initially denied entry because their passports didn't have departure stamps and they hadn't requested asylum. After spending all day on the tarmac of Johannesburg's international airport, they were let in on Thursday evening. They will remain under the care of the South African humanitarian NGO, Gift of the Givers, which has said it will provide them with accommodation. The remaining 23 passengers will be travelling to other destinations of their choice.
Mayeni Jones reporting. A number of schools have been closed in Australia and New Zealand after tests revealed asbestos in some brands of children's play sand. A recall notice said the sand imported from China contained 2 types of asbestos, a potential cause of cancer. Dozens of learning centres in New Zealand and almost 30 schools in Australia have been shut as a precaution. President Xi Jinping has welcomed Thailand's King Maha Vajiralongkorn in Beijing at the beginning of the first visit of a reigning Thai monarch since diplomatic ties were established 50 years ago. During their meeting, President Xi promised closer ties between the two countries. That's the latest world news from the BBC.
Welcome to the Outlook Mixtape, a galaxy of personal stories from our archive to entertain and inspire you. I'm Joe Pigeon, broadcasting.
It is evident.
Revenue mobilization. Was here for year by the field. And I buy free and I to say I was one and a cassia, no the annual was the car won't and you about to tanga outside the TV home kai. Waba the food, and she acquire power and you put one by year not to sit and answer me. Now, one for me, no more kaya, then and I buy now him now, I call you free well among the baby is someone who you just can open, but was mobile.
Government has chosen a harder but higher road, the road of reform, renewal, and resilience. We have restored fiscal discipline, brought inflation under control, stabilized the city, and rekindled investor confidence. This is not just a recovery, it is a reset. It is a story of a nation that refused to stay down. This is a rebirth from the ashes of daunting inheritance, the heavy burden laid upon us by the previous administration. The Speaker, it is a story of Ghanaians who endured hardships with dignity and held on to hope when the road was rough. Right, Honorable Speaker, we have learned a powerful truth. The truth is that fiscal discipline,
is the backbone of national progress. Mr. Speaker, there is no shortcut to responsible economic mismanagement. Mr. Speaker, there is no shortcut for responsible economic management. Never again must we allow recklessness, waste, and indiscipline to define how we handle the people's money. Right Honorable Speaker, President Mahama has made it clear that under his watch, Star is rising once more. Ghana is back, strong, stable, and full of hope.
Was one for one, and a risk as some for women. And was in a woman queen as my penny by ye. Was she said the enormous economy will catch her Ghana, your economy is a bit of whom want to be a foray. And if it was for the announcement, and enormous economy in the four, maybe probably me a finance retaba. And no more want to move a group of nights for human bread. What for time here, what done when it gets 20 share, what for the first review, yes, out to where the cost for Lina, I will not. They say, what you have to man, the D, and that's it, and woman queen.
And the fact that we sell our budget now, you are at the border to Ghana. That kind of say, how budget and actually, say, economy now, 2022, Nema, a church. We are on the path of air coastal camera. The first half of the year, proof this one 3%. Then we say administration at Java 8%. Your best month and some the to GDP ratio. You come empty. This is done in my way. Now to and compare. So then I must say 1 now. Clearly, budget I'm here to say we are getting our the trade COVID era. Wow, after that inflation here, then 0.9. Now inflation is 2019 economy grew 6.5. Now we are going the first half of the year. They grew 6.3%. That is the economy. The period of education economy, no, a sharp here, absolutely, it's now so far. It wishes
Oh, Penny don't for Wamana, so we are not assembly. I wouldn't want to say we can't be not there. That's here. Was the one said the no mercy crew, Bina Gama, yes, you know I am a boy. Why am a boy? Why ta. Amata say, Omega say, come my body and to show watching on. Emma Dollar, you know, I go. Now, as a pass no pump on the water, and as a euro, Nana Sidney Ruby. Now, when they are there, Savannah Pania, Edinia Toff. Says sitting in the general national I saw about our Reno, who was will be a poop and on the didn't I dance here, a Chesapeake. But I never was on the kind of Boma, so I started, and I'm not saying also, and it's no Boma, so my idea for effective tax, that's from 21.5%. Because the one as a promotion to thank our motive because the moment I in a general bank, wholesalers, many other from piano, about from there, and the retailer from Belgium. I also have for some consumers, I think I can do it. Unfortunately, I can promise that the new building you are about everything I go over to the problem. I have the problem. I have to show a double way. And yeah, you could hear a penny be a whopping pay. It was a Casimo and I taste what then some George, don't say. Yagusua, I was sick as some money. I call home a bomb and a boy better. Yes, so for Jessica, some 2 years where they buy and say, what woman from Honoma and fear a chamono day, who no need to get here. Now, company forward what the Bamaya can be what they say. See, can what's up by the block, no the boss could home buying, and the just could know I did any haunt to Triano. But come here, chair, Bosumi, my name to Bechamu, Nancy Canon Coye, not to just company forward where was some Potemway, what we yell a Sula, Swatias here, now was a quail bet to Media Fasua, what Benyasi cannot get to Tunyama, I must could attend Nassau. Nana some better Jana, who must have woman dear, and yes, the Carombo said bem. Ya film Pimian Janusiano, Sika what they Babessa and who must have from Honum, a be a 9.9 billion cities. A year swap for the chest of the Bakuma get fund, no Mujua Domo Etino, one more day Assessor, a Danchesua, 4.2 billion Ghana citizens, Sika, 3 senior high school, no, Abai Eddie Babessim, now I Jen and Nassau, now I want to say Swakosor, and you know, Quani Sika was also Equanum, a big home, no account of winning now again, now yet Swama one.
no and not in the Kefua and education campaign coalition. One was about a woman, when we a cabin for one more candy for my first of Loma 10 what I say. Ah, Brafon, the woman can't cannot bob so. Dear, here, pan say, Sika ye king, one will be Jessica, Marcos, Cusimo, a brano, and Bro was a Sika, the woman because no, let's go to my ye. Now, soon as he come back, now between I feel few minutes to come quiet here. Now, what shall stand so good when you day, and I was good to go Brahman ye. Jenny can enter some of for the 2 get no my stomach fee. Nothing, I'm not Jenny so.
Mr. Speaker, we have also allocated 33.3 billion Ghana cedis to the Ministry of Education for its program and activities in 2026. Again, Mr. Speaker, aside the amount allocated to the Ministry of Education, we have also allocated 9.9 billion Ghana cedis to the Ghana Education Trust Fund. Mr. Speaker, we have provisioned an amount of 4.2 billion Ghana cedis for the free secondary education program. Mr. Speaker, to end the double track, we have allocated 1.1 billion Ghana cedis for the infrastructure programs I mentioned earlier. Mr. Speaker, again, we have allocated an amount of 537 million Ghana cedis for the no-fees stress policy. Mr. Speaker, that's not all. We have allocated 25 million Ghana cedis for free tertiary education for persons living with disabilities. Mr. Speaker, we have allocated 3 billion Ghana cedis to be able to procure 4 sets of textbooks for KG books and workbooks for about 200,000 learners.
So for my sick as I'm to see Dr. Cassia to Forsen. Now, what is our cano? If you're about double track, and I didn't say a green new go to know, and they what would you say? One more baby, if you want to match as I would, but then in a baby mako, said the name that I know. Now, no Susicano, much a media told me what they baby, and I would be a kika home. Now, and no, what is some way to Jerry, and then your bomb of your painter in Nakefua. Now, one more head of program, or Rafael Festus Lomate, what no so dear to John what you say, and some are for dear by dear a year, and more him, Sikanimu ye. Now, you're not dear hygiene say, Sikana was sent for the schools for the and quantum, I was assuming Siachamu, a future of Fiamia, no Fiamiansa, not by any Sikanim. What some can say, not a drawer. Woman, Jessica Moko, a brano, and also Papa.
I get back there, and this Saturday, and Yama Aqua, a some crying, and Ma and the Dasso, and then Tempo, Sikaya Bandia Tuja, Yanosiedo, Debapoma, and Moshakosono. It says, Sika, some no Aqua and Moshanua, Yanaman in Putuno, and Sujina Ye. Education campaign coalition. What will you can be for about a Muslim and what's my Festus Lamati? I don't want 6.3 and you know myself 94.7 each 104.5 testing. And as I can see a book as a book and one you who will live here the Buddha they am on the Yakuyan one. Yakoma to Kuano Akachi Sabajatis and some Naya Sipusi Bodosame. Miss was on your for and Anania into Kobayaka brain. Ghana addition, Yadibaba Suman of the Kuo will be car.
Womu kaka womu se ketrema do mo dum tuom so beka me. Eti ya ko United Party for akachi. Eni womu ko twetwe nkomo United Party ubaka ya. Na ga ya afrafanto na so di womu so womu fo ma hofe. Enyi di obi a no mo fa na da obi a mo ba kwadro ni mo ba be poa. Ama kabi ma me kabi a mo timi afa ne tima pafura. Na panyina woto nkra ede ma wo mo a wono na ehwe chire. Solomon owusu ne na twetwe nkomo ne yesi adura budget wo do wani de eche no za what na need the genius who is no so ekoye sa ubu padia ko baka sanka ye manu du na ye twetwe ko be ma ban ni sia esanse aban ekuso ye no ma
na bibi mu a ya dia na ishi ni se aban no enye because ya dia ye da to ya kwan like on different platforms like I say aban no you don't comment aban into ya dia you need that na you expect to say the way aban aka no aban ye se ya aka na saba fere sentence na aban solution on this to the ba no ya dia ni papa you trying to be you more
where the amount of change, you have more disease in your soul in the night. I have it's he, I remember. The modern market to the last 8 years in a while. And my young developers the last 8 years. No man is here, no, the fish was a new reef. By any other set a new standard. We did the other movement to economic indicators. Currently, no improvement, which is a good thing. Banks under fire inflation at 23.8% or so. And 2024. And the inflation at 8.1. And the United Party, the work with the other, they say, a whole more model. Exchange rate at the time, now the last administration inflation layer 14. Ceded to the dollar, over dollar, and I think there's in the average of 10.5 and between 10.5 to 10.9. And this is also a regional position. And then you almost 11.9 billion, 11.4 billion. An improvement upon the number 2 years, we cover about 4.5 months of our import cover. On the scale of 1 to 10, number or more, 6 out of 10. Opanyine kwachi enini woman and war chire and crap for edema amadukwa ya first United Party Solomon Wusu and on any other monon ya call People's National Party chain PMP panyina wana na dano ya friend lawyer Janet na blind and then to komodo so we and sama and what budget ni wa kon masika no emu kura to nchen ya sage wo so afo no wo sikina ho na wo sikenkan ya de no na afa na no wo ya de no mako te se chachira cha se wa was here no cross on so any to pass it here the only the reduce budget but then the case the almost can it will not come into reality. With the ratio 2025 budget, the council only really out. The big push about students your mouth says yes, they will be a bank. So many things on the committee, they were not able to deliver it, but they have gone to the new budget and have raised more things to come. So with us here, all the things are fine, and good papa, because almost needs to be bad, and community needs to be bad. And therefore, tightening our tax regime system and helping us so that it will prevent people from corrupting another sector. Almost the day and the day of Adriano. And so to me, the budget was very nicely read. And here you could hear People's National Party one and a down lawyer, Janet Nabla, and on your you go boom. Ghana Union Movement when you found one and a down when you go no ano. Christian Cobrandru was of which I was on chain. Any other comedy business a budget process and again one also come for one and you have to take care of who's a friend. I mean, who's a louder the big COVID-19 left for a few. Now, COVID-19 next year. And so it is the mama so I said, you know, and Mumba, every man of mine. Only here to almost 20 minutes, especially if we are poor. If it's minutes, can also be timid out to us so and I don't want my nipa and the man also. Any and any position and yet, if it jump for and one on any man more yellow.
you go on more, yeah.